This is the 3-time Impact Wrestling X Division champion, the newest member of Bullet Club. I am the inevitable Ace Austin. And right now I want you to check out something on YouTube for me. If you're looking for some wrestling content on YouTube, go ahead and head over to the NatioNetwork. All right, they got some old school, they got some new school, and I'm willing to bet, chances are they've got something that you'll like, and that is inevitable.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. Welcome back to the NatioNetwork. My name is Vince McJam and I'm your host. And this is What New? We can pretty much talk about a little bit of anything and everything in the world with entertainment. It's going to be a busy weekend for wrestling, no doubt about it. D-Train is in the house. Matthew Stoper, hello. Yeah, you know what, D-Train? I'm actually good with the 30 seconds because all I do is throw my title screen up there until I'm ready to go. And when I'm ready, I just get the 30 seconds talk and we're good. So I appreciate it, but I think I'm just going to stick to that. Let me see. There we go. If anybody wants to jump in, get on camera. There is the link. It's going to be kind of an open forum day today. I'm testing some stuff out. I've been having technical difficulties on my end, and I can't figure out why. And I even had Geek Squad folks not over, but on the phone and logging into my computer and checking things out. According to them, everything looks like it's all right. This seems very odd that I'm banging out 200 plus megs on my upload and download, or the download's a little bit less, but still, I mean, they're really putting out some great numbers on my internet, and yet it has been glitching lately the last week or so. And the good thing is, using StreamYard, it only affects my camera and occasionally a little bit of audio, but at least the guests and other people that are in seem to be unaffected when I look at the playback. So I was a little bummed out about the recent stream I did with the Impact show, because it was a good show. But then at the end, it all got jumbled up so bad, and the video just kept cutting and lagging, and I'm still not entirely sure. So I just rebooted the router as well as the computer or the cable equipment that goes to the router, in hopes that that might help solve the problem. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this stream here today, just to kind of test things out and see how we're doing. So if there's anything happening where the picture starts to like get jittery or something like that, let me know right away, please, so I can try and troubleshoot some other stuff here and figure out what's going on. Jason Pruitt's going on. He's here in the house. Welcome aboard. Again, anybody who wants to jump in and have a conversation about either what's been happening lately or what's going to possibly happen this weekend, the link is right there in the chat. I just asked that you have a camera up and ready, and obviously a microphone will work. This is a visual thing, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, there we go, hang on, like that. Other than that, everything's open for debate. So, what are we thinking about for Saturday night? Do we think there's a new world champion? I'm not so sure. D-Train is in the house. Hold on a minute, D-Train. Something else. Unmute mic. I'm clicking on unmute mic, but it's not removing the mute symbol. Can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. Oh, sorry about that. I'll wait until you look like you're ready then. No, now it looks like you might be ready. No, still. Tell you what, when I see your camera is operating, I'll know you're ready. Maybe eating. Last time we interrupted his dinner, which I appreciate you joining us for that. As much as I would love to see Drew get a title run with an actual audience, to have fans in attendance would be great. I don't know. I get a weird feeling that they're not ready to put it. Either not that they're not ready to. I don't know that he physically is ready to, because he had to be pulled off of these house shows. He's had some back issues apparently that linger. Train, I keep looking at you there, man. As soon as I see you're up and ready, I'm going to bring you in. So, I don't know. I don't know physically if they can give it to him, but I do think something weird is going to happen. What does weird look like anymore in wrestling? I have no freaking idea. Nothing would make me happier than to see Bray Wyatt return. More likely the Fiend, if we're being completely honest. Train, where you at, man? I don't know that that's going to happen, but what a bang that would be to give the folks in England who don't get major premium events all that often, and to have them be the location where the Fiend makes his triumphant return. That would be awesome. Prime Time is in the house. What's happening, buddy? In the meantime, in the background here, I'm kind of messing with my 2K22 still, updating my roster and everything for the PS5 version, because as I mentioned in previous streams, when you go from PS4 to PS5 with this game, it will not allow you to bring your data with you. So you've got to replay the Rey Mysterio mode, you've got to unlock all the downloadable stuff that you had before, like so far as any creative content. You guys will be familiar. Am I having video issues already? Is that what I'm hearing? You guys having any issues seeing my camera? Is it acting up already? It's going to piss me off because I don't know what else to do at this point. The only thing I didn't do was wait online. It was going to be like an hour before one of their techs, their smarter techs, would get on and join me. Let's see here. This will help me go to my camera. Turn the volume down. Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on this thing just to see if it's doing anything squirrely on me. It is. All right. I'm probably going to have to cut this short then. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to get back on the phone with the Geek Squad folks, and they're going to have to do a better job of figuring this out, because it's not the internet. It's not the router. If it was the router, it would be affecting other items. It's not. It's not letting you go on? What's going on with that? What's it saying? And the funny thing is, as I'm looking at it here in front of me, you know, obviously my camera's not glitching or anything like that, so I have no way of knowing it's happening. 20-second freeze. That's a long freaking freeze. Nothing. All right. Well, I got to get the corresponding 6 and figure it out because, man, I got stuff coming up this next few days and I don't want to be shit. Tomorrow night, it's Thursday, right? Make sure I got the days right. Tomorrow night, we have got John Krauther joining us. He is the author of Spirit Circle Comics. I've been touting them since I met the man a couple of weeks ago. Does some really, really great stuff, and he's in the process of working on a super book for the Bushwhackers. He has assured me that at least one of the Bushwhackers will probably be with us, and hopefully 2, depending on Luke's travel. I don't think Luke travels too much anymore. But we're anticipating having at least one of them here tomorrow as well, so it'll be a good time. Nothing just blank because you were showing up here on the bar. That's interesting. Send it to you on Twitter. All right, let me send it to you on Twitter. Hold on. Yeah, I guess we got to figure that out too because I can't have guests not being able to get on. I'll tell you what, it's just been a shit show. All right, I sent it to you on Twitter. See if that makes a difference. I know Jay got on once before, and he got it from here. Pretty sure he did. I think he did. The hell, what do I know? And then on Saturday, we're at the, let's see. Clash starts at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, Eastern time. I'm guessing it's going to be a 3 to 4 hour event. Lean on the 4 hour side just to be safe. That takes us to about 5 o'clock. At 6 p.m. we will have the Macho Man right here. If you guys have not checked this guy out yet, you're going to love him. He puts some really good stuff together. I enjoy his videos very much, although most of them I don't find anymore. It's like there's only about 4 that I could find, but there were some that I was just cracking up. So we'll talk all about that. He's in the process of going through like a rebranding kind of thing, and we'll talk all about that and get all the information where you guys can check out his work. Yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. I don't know how great it's going to be. I've got a lot more faith in Saturday than I do in Sunday. And I haven't really kept up with AEW this week at all. So what's going on? What's the main event? I mean, it was supposed to be Punk against Moxley, and they shit all over that. All right, here comes D-Train. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it looks better. There he is.
Yep.
Well, weird.
I
Wonder why there's a difference. But good to know that there is.
Well, you got to remember, when I used to use this, I was from your end, so I didn't have to go through all this hassle.
Bullshit. That's what he's trying to say. It's bullshit.
No, like I said, I'm just used to being the man setting it all up, so I know how to get it all set up. So that's all.
I just need to figure out why the damn thing keeps on freezing.
I think that happened to me once before while using this app, or it's just, I don't know.
You know what
I have nothing to say.
What I need to try, hold on a minute here.
So you got one of the Bushwhackers tomorrow, huh?
Well, we might have both of them. He's pretty confident that we're going to have Butch.
Really? Luke is the one I thought was always the most active.
Well, and that's the problem. He may be on the road.
Yeah.
So, and that was a maybe. He might not be on the road, in which case it would be awesome to have both of them. I mean, how much better would that get?
Oh, yeah. I just remember seeing them at the, well, not personally, but watching their Hall of Fame speech. They were pretty entertaining even during the Hall of Fame speech. So.
Oh, yeah. Their personality, they got plenty of that. No shortage of personality on those two guys.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was like the first time I actually really got to see their personality. I was like, holy cow, these guys are really cool. I wish I was more of a fan of them back in the day.
I enjoyed them. I always did. I mean, when they first came over to Florida, they were the sheep herders, of course, and they were badasses. And I looking at them, I go, man, they ain't that big of guys to be kicking all that ass. But then they did, so... Let's see.
Yeah, no, I'm actually surprised how active Luke actually is. I don't think he wrestles anymore.
No,
He might. I don't know.
I can't imagine.
I know he does a lot of conventions and stuff like that. I see his videos. I mean, he's fairly active.
I'm debating on trying this on my cell phone to see if it glitches on the phone too, because if it doesn't, then we 110% know it's something in the computer. Let's do this. I'm going to wrap this one up. Then I'm going to start a whole new one from the cell phone, and let's see if that also freezes up. And then I can get a hold of Best Buy with some information. Because I'm paying them. The guy tries and says, well, I can get you on with a tech, but it's going to be $39. No, I pay you guys for the whole annual bullshit. And it's like,
Your
sorry.
connection's working much better now than it was before, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's inconsistent. It keeps on, like right now. I mean, everything I see is fine. There's no issues. But then you see what happens on the other end when you're watching it on YouTube. And I'm presuming it's not just a YouTube thing. I mean, I don't really feel like going experimenting my... I don't even remember my Twitter stuff. Not Twitter, but Twitch stuff anymore.
No, your first minute or two, it was hard to hear you even. It was really rough. But then it cleared up, so...
But why? It doesn't make any sense. I'm using all the same equipment. It's on the same levels. And only the last week or so, it's been an issue. I haven't changed anything. I haven't added anything. Haven't subtracted anything.
Yeah, and the StreamYard itself isn't an app. It's only the site, so that's not adding anything to your computer at all.
Right, which is why I like this thing, figuring, okay, whatever the odds or whatever the problems may be with OBS, can't get it all out in one sentence. I'm thinking it was OBS related, or maybe OBS was, pulling too much on the computer, even though it's a pretty good computer with very large amounts of memory available. I use it strictly for streaming. I don't junk it up with a bunch of stuff.
No, you didn't seem like the type of guy that would, so.
No, I'm just bummed out right now. It's like I get all these people signed up and ready to go, and now all of a sudden it wants to play like shit.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
That's what you say.
No,
Jay's in the house.
Jay in the house, so.
Well, since we're all here, what are our predictions for Saturday? Do we get a new world champion or not?
Yes.
I'm saying no. Jay says yes.
I'm saying yes.
You're saying yes? Jay?
What?
Do we get a new champion on Saturday?
I'd like to say Drew's going to take it, but I think they're holding off on stripping Roman for some reason. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting Cody's eventually going to come back.
Yeah,
and I think that's what they're trying to hold out for. I don't think it's going to be a total squash, but I think that's why they did on last Friday with the severe beatdown of his back and stuff to try to play up that angle.
Well, I can totally see that if he's not winning the title, and I also don't think he's going to. That's hard. I mean, he's in his backyard pretty much, so it's tough to say yes or no in that scenario.
Maybe
but I
one
don't.
of those he wins by. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I don't think he's going to win it. I do think that what's our friend's name that just recently returned? Used to be bald, now he's not anymore.
Cross. Karrion Kross.
Yeah, Karrion. There you go. Couldn't get his name. I think he ends up coming out at an opportune moment and costing him the title. That way, their feud can go off.
Yeah, I could see that. I can also see Theory maybe coming in and trying to cash in, and Gargano run out and super kick him again. that would be all right with me.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to put that belt on Theory at this point in time. I mean, you could say that he's the heel and Cody comes in and easily beats him. It's believable enough, no doubt about that. But is that selling tickets? Is that a WrestleMania match? No.
That's not even a house show match.
I think they would be better at waiting till they split the titles and then have Theory cash in on whoever takes the Raw title, and then Cody can come back, go against Drew, and then maybe have Gargano and Theory feud over the Raw belt.
That's blasphemy. They're not splitting the titles. It's one title, damn it.
Well, it's better than Roman. It's better than Roman carrying around 2 belts. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would like to have seen them come out with a world championship belt once they were unified.
That's just telling you that they're going to split them up sooner or later.
Yeah, that's true.
I will
mean,
say
it's
this
a little
much,
while
Triple
it's gonna
H.
What's that?
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, with Triple H, anything's possible.
That's just true.
Well, I have seen that there's talk about him looking at new designs for the belts as of right now. So
good.
He might go ahead and make a WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion and 1 belt.
Something with a friggin' eagle on it would be nice.
And he is a traditionalist kind of guy, though.
Exactly.
So
he is.
Yeah, he loved the big gold belt.
That'd be nice. They got a lot of belts they could change. That U.S. title looks like a...
I actually like the U.S. title. I'm thinking about buying one.
Ah.
I think it looks amazing. It is the detail and the thickness of the plates and the lettering, the way it pops and everything. I like it a lot.
Looks like the front end of a semi-truck.
Yeah, I know. I love that. Semi-truck that hit the American flag.
See, I'm not a big fan of the Intercontinental belt. I like the old one from the 90s, you know?
Oh, yeah. No doubt. The one that Macho Man and Santana and all them were battling for.
Right. And even when they put the whites, even when Miz had it with the white strap or the white belt to it. Right.
But the belt itself and the plates, I did like that version of the Intercontinental title myself the best. Although I'll say that this one's not, out of all the new ones they came out with, I will take this Intercontinental title over the WWE Universal or World title with the big WWE logo slapped on it.
And I do think like the women's titles need to not look like the men's. They need to have their own.
Lord. Yeah, it's like they threw them in the dryer too long. Primetime agrees that we're going to be looking at getting new world title at some point in time. He also thinks that Cody's going to replace Drew and win the title tomorrow or Saturday.
How long has Cody been out?
He's been out a minute.
What
was the pay-per-view he did with Seth?
He was at Hell in the Cell.
Nah, you're looking around the Royal Rumble time, you'll see him.
Well, you know what?
Well, that's what I'm thinking
about John Cena all the time, and that son of a bitch came back so much earlier than planned.
Well, Cena?
There's a precedent. That's all I'm saying. It's possible.
Well, Cena's a freak when it came to that stuff, though, too.
Yeah. He had some super.
I as much as I like to see Cody come back tomorrow on Saturday and do that, they would be doing themselves a disservice not to have him come out in the Rumble, win the Rumble, and then go on to WrestleMania to take the title off of Roman or whoever has it.
But everyone and their mothers already predicted that story.
That's true.
I just
you're right. Drew's not winning the title. He might win by DQ or something.
We converted him.
Well, no. I just thought about it. I totally forgot about the Cody thing. And then it's like, I mean, they could totally do it and Roman win it back. It would be pretty dumb.
I was just going to say, give him the home win. And then maybe Karrion comes out, beats him down afterwards, takes away his moment. Or even maybe doesn't take away his moment. Maybe on Monday night he does it. And then the return match comes up, and now he's not half the man he used to be. And boom,
just don't let him win and then Monday night come out and say, I have to relinquish the belt because I can't defend it. My back hurts. I will be so pissed off. I'll be mad.
Yeah, mad is an understatement. I think I'd lose my.
Maybe they'll have an interim champion.
No,
that's
absolutely not.
I was in favor of it at first, but now they're handing it out like chiclets. I mean, it's like a Pez dispenser for championships. Everyone's got one, and then everyone's going to come back, and then everyone's going to want theirs back. And what a freaking hot mess AEW is right now. Because it's one of two things. Either half of what we're hearing is true, which is really bad if it's only half even, or it's all there to work the fans. And at this point, it's such a mess that I don't know that the fans are going to want to deal with that. I know I've kind of tuned out because whether it's true or not, either way, I'm not digging it. All the fighting backstage going on, the suspension going on. If it's legit and not a character building thing that he pie faced this dude and then got suspended for whatever number of days and Warner Brothers insisted, and if it's legit, CM Punk, MJF, at this point in time, doesn't even matter anymore. If it was at work or a shoot, might as well have been a shoot because you have killed the golden goose. He shows up, it don't matter. It just don't matter.
I will say, as I've said on a previous podcast and some people I worked with at the time, you know, it was a big thing when it started, but I even said, you know, what happened eventually with, I mean, they got all this talent in there, and it's all it's all roses and, you know, everything's sweet. But then sooner or later, I mean, somebody does eventually have to start winning, and somebody has to start losing, you know. I mean, and egos do take a part. So, I mean, that's why I'm glad Gargano went back to WWE. He would have just been another man on a list of. I mean, AEW's got great talent. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they have no management.
So much of it, but they have nothing.
No, they got a fan. It's Dixie Carter 2.0.
I don't get like their booking. They do this great storyline with Wardlow and giving the title, and then he's been on television once, twice since winning the title. And that's it.
Well, it's not only that, but Jim Cornette brings up a really good point. It's not just the title. It's the fact that he goes out there and wrestles on TV against guys that he should be squashing in 3 minutes or less and has good matches with them. You know, like they put up a fight for 10 minutes. And he should have been booked like Goldberg.
Yeah.
He should just be going out there, squashing the shit out of him. Yeah, it is what, like I said.
But if there's smoke, there's fire. I'm sure there's some stuff going on backstage. No doubt about it.
There only has to be. Cornette also touched on that. He says, I don't care who you are. If you have 40 or 50 or more people in your locker room, they're not all happy. It's impossible. No. So in this case, he says, but the difference is back in the day, you had guys in charge like Dusty, like Graham, and he was going down the list, Fritz, and guys and Vince, guys that knew how to control the talent and keep them in line. Here you got some kid who's literally a kid in a candy shop, got his own wrestling company. Dad handed it to him.
And Tony Schiavone's not the answer.
I
mean, you know,
our favorite barista.
Around, but
no, our favorite barista is not going to bring any stability to that ship.
So I don't know. I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Tony should have had people like that in place to begin with when he got the company, and I really do think once Cody left, that was like the linchpin that was kind of maybe keeping everything together, and then he left, and now everybody's just like, well, I'm going to do what I want.
Well, think about it. He was one of the pillars. What happens when you pull out one of the pillars? They didn't call
everything starts coming crashing down.
And that's what's happening. And that was probably when we end up in a few years from now watching the rise and fall of AEW. And trust me, we're going to see this DVD if they're still making DVDs at that time. But when that comes out, it's all going to point to Cody leaving. And by then we'll get the backstory perhaps on why he really left.
And maybe he did see this coming.
Oh, I know he saw it coming. He's a smart guy. And the beginning, there's good and bad in this. Okay, in the beginning, Tony did listen to these guys a lot and took a lot of their advice. To a fault. Okay, when you've got Rio, who weighs about 75 pounds on a good day, being your world champion, women's champion for how long? It's like, oh, good Lord.
She was still bigger than Marco Stunt.
Yeah, well, there was also the Marco Stunt factor, but man, I'm so with Cornette on most of what he says, especially when it comes to his little boy Pockets there. What's his real name? I can only remember these guys by the Cornette.
Kenny Omega. Omega.
Yeah. No. That's
Orange
Twinkle
Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. The first time I saw him was before he went to AEW. Okay, it was a indie show somewhere, and I saw a clip of this, and I thought it was funny once. I said, it's a good comedy act. He's supposed to be, this Generation Y. They're lazy. They don't want to do nothing. It's all half-assed. The fact that he doesn't give a full thumbs up, these light kicks, and everyone's in the audience going along and selling them. And I thought it was funny once. But week after week, and the guy can wrestle. It's not like he can't wrestle. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's got the physical ability, but the gimmick sucks. And you can say he's over, and maybe he is. I just, at the end of the day, they were down to, I think, 500,000 people watching their product last week. So you were at 1 million a week earlier with CM Punk. You shit the bed on that. The fans are telling you they don't like it, and you're still doing what you're doing. I don't know. I just don't know.
There's a couple of ways of looking at that, but there's some changes that need to be made, no doubt about it. And if he's not going to do it, they're going to be in a world of hurt.
I don't know that he's capable of doing it. I really don't. I think at this point he's so deep in his own shit. You know, the old saying, you can't see the forest through the trees.
Yeah.
I think he's so deep into this stuff right now that he doesn't even understand. Like when he hears people, he listens to Cornette. I mean, we know that he does. He admits that he does. But I don't think he can see that point of view at all. I think he just figures, oh, no, he's not here. He doesn't understand. And sometimes you need to step away. Artists, when they're painting, they'll step 20 feet back and look at the canvas to get that perspective of it. Because when you're so close and doing the details, you don't see it the same way as when you step back and take a look at it. It would help him a lot to step back.
I think the other thing he's got to realize is Triple H right now smells blood in the water. And if you don't think he ain't watching people like Tony Storm to bring her back, or Thunder Rosa, or these women who can wrestle, who don't have drama, that can boost his women's division, you know he's going to jump at them when their contract comes up.
No, not so sure about the Thunder Rosa part of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And I'm not sure if Tony Storm really wants to go back there.
But she did under Vince. I don't know if he had a problem with. We'll see. I mean, look, she's in a negotiating position at this point whenever her contract runs up, because it's a matter of like her fans only, or fans only, whatever the hell they call that shit. OnlyFans. There you go. Her OnlyFans thing was cranking money out on day one.
Yeah.
And she's like, why do I want to travel when I got this? So I'm sure she's going to, because, WWE doesn't like to let them have their own entities out there, whether it be, Twitter, whether
I think that's going to change.
Twitch. Yeah, I think so too. Well, it will change if you want to get some of these people back, because they're going to make it change. They're going to say, yeah, I'll come back, but I'm going to keep my OnlyFans. I'm going to keep my Twitch channel.
Well, Scarlett, for sure. She said when she made hers, she said she was making more money on OnlyFans than she did under a WWE contract.
Now, hearing a lot of that just tells you how perverted the audience is.
And I can honestly say I've never subscribed to any of those. I honestly have.
No. For what? A lingerie shot? What the hell? I give a shit, man. You're in the ring half naked. I could go if I was that way. I just go frame by frame and I get my own pictures. Thank you very much. Have your ass hanging out.
Exactly, but I mean, it's funny how 3 months ago, no one had thought WWE would be going up.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
thought they were just going.
Well,
But
I don't
now,
know.
I mean,
I would have thought so only because they couldn't go any further down, it seemed.
But I mean, and he's got his eye on people. There's going to be more people coming back. I've heard that Braun Strowman talks. You know, Bray is just waiting to cash in that money.
Wait a minute. Do you think he would bring back Braun Strowman? I heard that on the list of names not likely.
I saw on the list of, oh yeah, we're at least sending feelers out big time.
Ooh, why? I mean, other than like lifting heavy objects.
Yeah, the fans did like him. I'm not saying he was a great wrestler by any means.
Oh, good, because he was hustling.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it is going to happen. Like Jonah, for example.
Yeah.
Bronson
Yes.
Reed. I
Yes.
see that for sure.
That would be a welcome return.
You know, Bray Wyatt, yes, big time. That's Triple H is going to let him run with that, big time. I mean, they're going to be pretty good when Orton comes back at the end of the year. When Cody comes back.
Is there a timeline on Orton?
I haven't heard one.
But I thought usually Royal Rumble, it seems like a lot of these guys seem to work their way back. So,
well, it's a good match to be in. You don't have to be in it too long. You don't take too many bumps.
Right.
Exactly. And if you're Orton, you're not going to get number 1 more than likely.
No, you'll come in at number 25 or later.
Yep. Exactly. So, I don't know who else is out there that they're. I mean, you know, would he bring the Good Brothers in? I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know if I would not.
But
think
AJ's there, Finn Balor's there,
right? And they ran him before.
Yeah, and this time maybe they could actually do a version of the Bullet Club instead of just the club.
Well, what stopped them last time is they don't have the rights to the names, right? That's why they went with the club, because they don't. It's copyrighted, the Bullet Club, and I don't remember who owns it though.
This guy, I think that's New Japan. I think that owns that.
This is their problem. Yeah, I guess so, because it took place over there. But then they allow the guys over here in AEW to use it, or actually Impact Wrestling's using it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I remember when Omega came out with a Bullet Club shirt on AEW, New Japan was mad. Like, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing on it? Well, what are you going to do? It's a T-shirt, but.
And they are teasing something between AJ and Finn right now. They did it on Monday night during the tag match. So I could see the Good Brothers coming back, teaming with AJ, and then going after Judgment Day.
Blaze Radio's in the house and says Triple H already announced a few weeks ago that the Twitch ban for workers has been lifted. So there you go.
Yeah, just a matter of time.
And this is why, Blaze, if you want to jump on, there's the link. That's one of the things that Triple H is doing well right now. The guys and girls in the locker room realize he's a wrestler's wrestler, that he's there for them, to make them happy, so they put on a good show for us. They're not just cattle. And that was always the knock on Vince, that, you know, you were just a circus performer. You were a monkey, and when you couldn't perform anymore, you take him out back and you shoot him. Unless your name's Shawn Michaels or Undertaker.
You know, it's something totally funny. Earlier today, I actually watched the CM Punk pipe bomb in the WWE, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was hoping the company would be better if it was run by Triple H Stephanie, but he said it wouldn't. Well, It actually is being run better by them, which is actually kind of funny, because he was like, yeah, it would, you know, he was hoping it would be, but it would be run by his stupid son-in-law and his idiotic daughter. Well, they seem to be doing all right now. So
the doofus son-in-law. I remember that thing almost verbatim. As that really was one of the all-time best. I'm not a big Punk fan, but I got to say I do enjoy when I see him with a microphone. I know it's going to be entertaining.
Oh yeah,
He's a throwback.
I got personal beef with CM Punk, but that's a long story. Mm-hmm.
Personal? How can it be personal? How personal can it be?
Oh my God! How can I tell the story without?
Yeah, without a lawsuit.
Well, I mean, he did threaten to punch me.
You guys got that close.
I actually have it on video footage.
Shut up. Oh, dude. Let's break out the video.
But
Exclusive right here on the Nation Network.
Yeah,
Well,
D-Train and Funk.
Well, the funny thing is, though, is I didn't know at the time he was. It's kind of weird. He actually was talking crap about me, and I didn't know he was talking crap about me until I had the DVD. But I know it was me because, all right, I'll have to tell the story. So I was at a local, well, not a local. I went to, where was it? I think it was somewhere in Indiana for IWA Mid-South show.
Mm-hmm.
At the time when Ian Rotten was running, he brought in anyone that was anybody in the Indies. And I was there in a crowd with a bunch of my buddies, and we were doing chants and stuff like that. Nothing insane, but just doing it. And Punk was doing commentary. He was like 3 rows behind us. And all of a sudden, my buddy's like, man, that guy's talking crap about us. I'm like, I couldn't hear anything. I was more enjoying the match than worry about what CM Punk was talking about me. But later on, when
he's in the audience with you, though?
No, not Punk. Punk was doing commentary literally 3 rows behind me.
Okay, so you're a fan in the audience. He's doing commentary? Okay.
Correct. So at the time, I did not know he was talking crap about me. But he did but later on, when I got the DVD, because he was talking about the guys that were chanting, which was, I was one of them with the other one, and I was the biggest guy out of all of them. Because he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch the big one first. Well, the big one was me. So
you gotta have a game plan.
So technically, you know, I mean, he didn't.
He didn't walk up to you and say, I'm going to kick your ass. He said it on the microphone
no.
where you couldn't even hear it until the replay or the...
But
so did you guys ever like go face to face at all at any point in time, like the next show through town or anything, or that was it?
Oh my
I mean,
God,
it's still cool that you were on the...
I know, he's like, because our dude's like, gotta punch the big one first. And I'm like, holy crap, because he was talking about me, because it was me and the guys. I was the tallest, biggest out of all of us. No, the first time I met Punk, he was a very nice guy. Well, standoffish, but nice.
Yeah.
That was my last.
He strikes me as he'd be an okay guy to talk to. Can't imagine what I'd want to talk to him about, but...
Depends. He's a real funny character. Not easy to get an autograph.
Funny what, like I'm a clown? I'm here to amuse
funny?
you.
Do I make you
funny? How am I funny? You tell me. How am I funny?
I don't think he's a people person very much. Or maybe he just saw it's like, okay, wrestlers are wrestlers, the fans are marks, and don't get too close to the marks because they're marks. That could be too, but
I suppose.
But yeah, do I appreciate Punk's accomplishments and stuff? Of course, but personally, yeah, he wanted to punch me, so there's always a little bit of personal beef there with me and CM Punk.
My closest claim to fame to that was when Hogan and the Warrior met at the Royal Rumble in the middle of the ring.
Oh, yeah.
That was here in Orlando. Hogan ended up going over in that one, which I was so pissed. I was big time on the Warrior bandwagon at that point. And if you watch the video back at the end when Hogan is celebrating and all that, and he grabs somebody's Hulkamania sign, the bed sheet, and he's walking it around, he gets to one point in the ring from the hard camera side. It would be the opposite side right corner guardrail, and you'll see a guy with like a baseball type shirt with the long blue sleeves on it and his face painted up as the Ultimate Warrior holding a sign, which you might not be able to make out the sign, but basically said something about Hogan, you suck, or whatever. You know, Warrior's gonna press you. I don't remember what it said, but basically let Hogan know that Hulkamania was dead. And I'm holding that sign up and pointing him out, and as soon as he catches it, he puts down the bed sheet and walks right over towards me, still in the ring, but walks right at me, points at me, and does the whole handcuff in the ear thing and all that. And so, but I was like, well, at least you know I can't stand you. There, take that to bed tonight.
Yes. I think have I had any other interaction with somebody that's wanted to beat me up? I'm gonna say no.
Not since that Girl Scout cookie sale went bad.
Yeah, I have a cease and desist. I can't talk about that.
I want my Thin Mints! You little bitch, where's my...
Exactly. But
people get ornery about those Thin Mints, man. Don't tell me you ran out. Don't want to hear that.
yeah, I think ultimately I was, even at indie shows and stuff, I was always respectful to the wrestlers. Even when I was helping out with the wrestling promotion a little bit behind the scenes and stuff, like I never called them by their real name. Even though I knew their real names, I'd always call them by their wrestling name, kind of, because it's like how many people go up to Undertaker and say, "Hey, Mark, how you doing?"
Right.
I mean, they all, even backstage, the other performers call him Taker. I mean, that's just, you kind of, we had nicknames in high school, from our different sport teams or whatever. And that was the name. Like, first off, none of us had a first name. So if you had no nickname, it's your last name. That's it. It's like, yo, Pat Stern, get over here. Nasta, what are you doing? That was it. There was no first names. There was no Mikes or Joes or anything like that.
Exactly.
But if you had a nickname, you hoped it wasn't a shitty one.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Hey, douchebag, come over here.
Yeah, because that'll follow your ass, man.
Or something really weird. But no, I always had respect, because it's like, I saw what those rings are like. You've seen what it is to even put it together. And I've taken down, put up many. I've actually had a slam or two or something on that. Those mats are nothing to play with.
No.
There's no cushion in that thing. Plywood and steel. That's what's breaking your fall.
Yeah.
And gravity.
And springs if you're lucky.
No, they ain't no springs in Impact, and I know they don't use springs in WWE. They should, for a number of reasons. Number one, it'll help out the performers, and I think it adds an element to it. I mean, my favorite rings ever was going back in the old NWA TBS days, but not TV shows. It would be when they would show you the footage from a house show, and it was always like dimly lit with almost a yellow ore over it. And I remember in particular with the Rock and Roll Express and probably Midnight Express going at it, and they would show you maybe a 5-minute clip of the match, and they're hitting the ropes and they're hitting and the ring is just like jumping with them. It was like it was alive. It just gave so much more bounce to it. And when they hit, they didn't just hit, they hit and they went boom up in the air 3, 4, 5 inches. It made it look like there was an impact. And that's got to be saving them a lot. I mean, hell, Ricky's still wrestling, so I got a feeling if he had a career in WWE over NWA, he might not be doing that today.
Well, that's what I meant. Maybe not actual spring, but like the one we used for the independent promotion I wrestled with, it had more give. So when you hit, you did you could see the ring go up and down a lot more than what you would on one of the ones on TV. So,
yep.
So did they never have springs in any of them, though? Because I would have sworn that one had springs in it, but I just thought it was a good idea.
I know, because I put ours together. It didn't have springs, but the way it was designed, it would shift up and down the poles to allow it to have a little more give. And you could tighten it up, loosen it to adjust that for how you wanted it to be. So.
A flex capacitor. There you go.
Now, even though it had to give, my back is still tore up from doing that for 3 years. So I give all these guys props for doing it 20, 25, 30 years. Flair, God knows how long, Yeah,
indeed. I can't imagine. Like I said, I hopped off the apron to the floor. On my own accord, bending the knees, absorbing the shock, and I felt like 200 pounds just got splatted on the cement. And I'm like, holy shit, I will never watch someone come off the apron again the same way. I feel like everyone that's physically capable should have to do that once. I'm not saying take a bump. I'm saying just hop off. Feel the gravity of that 3.5, 4 foot height, which don't look like all that much.
Nope.
Get a good step stool, maybe try it that way. But I'm just telling you, I was shocked at how much of a thud I felt in my body.
Yeah.
And I was braced for it. I mean, I had my knees bent. I understand how you got to land so that your body absorbs the shock a little bit. And didn't feel like it mattered a whole lot. I'd have been an inch or two shorter if I would have locked my legs.
Yeah, you know, wrestling is very interesting once you really, really, truly know the insides and all that kind of stuff. Like it's,
Yeah.
I give those guys nothing, and women too. I mean, it's, you know, the women too, because they don't have the body mass like the guys do. So I mean, you know, they're better now than what they once were. But I mean, they're still, you know, AJ Styles is huge compared to most of the women wrestlers. You know, there's a few that are a little bit larger than him, but overall, like, you know, I mean, and those girls are taking some bumps too, and it's like, if you don't have neck and back problems, you're not doing something, because
Right.
how could you not? How could you
If you
not?
don't have neck and back problems yet, you will. Stay with us. More to come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm just
even
looking
you
over
see
for
somebody like Orton that says, I wish my finish is cool, but I wish I had something where it's not such a high impact and landing, because then you get beat up like him, Hogan. Yeah, you know, even like people said, the leg drop looked like crap, but he
Yeah.
really did jump. He was up to the top rope and then dropping.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fall. No wonder his back and ribs are.
And he's
not,
coming
you know,
right down on his tailbone. At least with Orton, he's flat backing it a little bit more, and he's not as high up. But it's still, I mean, you're doing it night after night after night.
yeah, cool finisher, but he's paying for it a little bit now. So.
Did DDP actually invent that move, or did that come from like overseas somewhere? Because I never saw it before DDP.
Didn't Johnny Ace had something to do with that? Oh no, that was the Stone Cold Stunner, right?
Well, Austin accidentally invented that.
I thought Johnny Ace was part of something, but I could be wrong. Who helped? I don't think DDP came up with that on his own.
I don't think so either. But I'm figuring it must have been in Japan or something when they were over there. Maybe somebody was using it. A lot of these guys like to borrow from Japan, figuring the average fan doesn't see that product, so it'll look new.
Yeah, maybe somebody in the comments will drop some knowledge. I can't 100% sure on that one, but I'm going to say no, he didn't teach that. That was somebody assisted him.
Okay. Blazed earlier in the comments mentioned also the Bronson Reed and Braun have been in talks. I'm sorry, Braun, I just can't. I can't figure out why. I mean, I guess if you want to bring him in as a bodyguard, like a Mr. Hughes kind of thing. But if you're going to try and push him, I don't.
You're not waiting for that Braun Strowman Omos match that everybody's dreaming of? Now, there's some tickets to be sold right there.
That'll put the asses in the seats.
I'll spend more money not to have to buy the ticket.
Yeah, the toilet seats. That's where you're going to be coming from, because people will be in the bathroom.
If that match was on the card, it'd be. I can hear the commercial already. Coming to an arena near you this Friday night, you're going to see it. Braun Strowman against Omos. Tickets are just $19.95 if you want them, $25.95 if you don't.
Well, hopefully that's on a Saudi Arabia show, you know. That doesn't really matter.
Loser stays. Either way, we win.
The loser does not leave the town. Yep, you're screwed.
Infrared says Stone Cold finisher, the stunner, came from Michael Hayes' Hayes' 911 finisher. I don't remember Michael Hayes having a 911 finisher. What did he have? He did a pile driver, did a brain buster. I don't recall him having. What's a 911 finish? Have you watched that Riddle Rollins confrontation on Raw?
Yes.
Really? Because I fast forwarded through it, is what I was about to say.
Oh, see, the main part.
Rollins I just can't.
Well, here's the thing. Skip everything until they stop the interview and it's just the two of them sitting there.
Yeah.
And then watch Rollins and Riddle shoot on each other, because it becomes a shoot. Because Riddle says something about Becky during the interview, and then after the cameras go off, Seth pretty much says, you want to talk about family? Let's talk about your family. How your wife divorced you. You don't get to see your kids because you're basically a piece of shit. And and Riddle just starts going, F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. I'm not going to beat you. I'm going to F you up. And they're bleeping him. And That's the part that's intense. That's the part I like. The beginning part with Corey Graves, you can skip. You get to that part, and it's just you see that's real. That's a shoot.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
shoot
a-
they agreed to have.
It's a
Yeah.
work shoot. It's work. It's work.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
But it's allowing them to take the gloves off and say, okay, you want to talk about my family? Let's talk about your family. Let's pull in this because it makes it personal now.
yeah.
It's
It
no
makes it
longer just
appear
them.
personal now.
Right.
But again, I mean, do we believe that? Let's put it this way: those cameras wouldn't have still been rolling. They wouldn't be showing that footage unless everyone was in on it.
Of course.
So
But would you have gotten that with Vince?
no, hell no. Vince lost touch, man, decades ago. He's
They
still
would've had
living
a
in
30-minute promo
1985.
in the
The
ring.
funny thing is,
Yep.
Vince is the one that says when he hears about things like Jim Cornette said, "Oh, Jim Cornette thinks it's 1985." Well, pal, what year do you think it is?
And Riddle's the first one to get his first name back. They announced
Yep.
him as Matt Riddle.
Thank you,
Well,
Jesus.
Theory did too.
Oh, is he Austin
Who
Theory
did?
again?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
thank you.
They did say Austin Theory. Yep.
Thank you.
So-
boy, a little common sense goes a long way sometimes.
So I'll be curious to see what the names of like Dewdrop and unfortunately I think
ignorant.
Gunther's gonna stay Gunther. I just have a
Oh
feeling.
God, no! Who wants that?
I think they are working back to Pete Dunne, away
Yeah.
from Butch.
That's been a miserable failure.
Yeah, he's already back in his old ring gear I've seen.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
The bruiserweight was a great thing, and he's a tremendous talent.
totally agree. Totally agree.
You don't need to put a stupid 1940 cap on him and make him look like he's from some bad movie.
So I mean, you could say whatever you want, but and you know, is WWE still going to be the best? Time will
Eh.
tell.
Right.
Time will tell. But is it a lot better? More manageable
Yeah.
to watch?
Oh God, yeah. And how many people are going to be coming back to the company that we haven't seen yet that are already probably signed, and we're just, Hunter realizes you can't bring them all back next week.
Well, no, you want to spread it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
don't want to do like AEW and bring somebody new in almost every week. You can't do that.
Depends how many bullets you got in the chamber.
Does anyone remember Ruby Soho? She was the hottest thing last year.
No, she
Yeah.
was the
Where
hottest
is she
thing
now?
for about 2 weeks.
You know? And there's some other people like that, kind of even Athena, Ember Moon. She's not so big deal. I mean, even
But-
Tony Storm is a little cooled off. But at least
Yeah,
she's
and
getting a
that's
push.
unfortunate. That's a fuck up right there because Tony
Yep.
Storm, with the OnlyFans proved, she's a hot commodity.
Yep.
She's a lot of people into her, and she can wrestle. She's a performer. And I'm not saying the other ones aren't. I'm just saying with Athena, I think the Ember Moon thing was a big part of her success.
Yeah.
The eyes glowing and that werewolf type persona.
The very like paganness of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's just Athena. I mean, it's kind of like a regular person name as opposed to something that has a little vibe to it.
Well, that was the name she used on the Indies before she was signed by WWE. So
Yeah, but did anyone know her in the Indies before she was signed to WWE?
yeah,
Majority
I
of
heard of
people
her.
didn't. Oh, you heard of her, but
and she had a crazy chairs match with somebody that was pretty sick for women at the time. I mean, it was actually really good. I'd have to find that on YouTube, but she had a following. But yeah, not as much. You're right.
James Weston says Stone Cold beat the Austin out of Theory. Pretty good line right there. And I agree. Primetime says bring LA Knight his old gimmick back. Yes, please.
I think that probably will happen. It might, you just got kind of put in a group. So
Yeah, get him out of the damn group. He don't need a group. Needs a microphone. Leave him alone.
no, I agree. So I mean, it's nice to see these little but subtle changes.
I have
No
to
more
admit,
games.
I did watch NXT 2.0 last night for
I'm sorry.
some god awful reason. And I have to admit, I did like how they had all the former NXT and UK champions, Rhea Ripley, Pete Dunne, Finn Balor, all these people on there, Shayna Baszler, basically going up to the respective champions and saying, you know, we built these legacies, and now you guys have to unify these titles for UK, or you have to do this for NXT. And I like them basically putting a focus on the histories for both brands.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm surprised that they're still doing the Saturday morning production of NXT with the Splash Zone. I thought he would have done something, even if not back to black and gold, to do something to take that stupid look away.
I think that'll be coming at the beginning of the year. Give it this, let them get through this pay-per-view or premium event, I guess, where they solidify everything. And then I think moving forward from here, we'll see a lot more changes, because that UK talent's going to bring that vibe back in. But that's just my opinion. So
James Weston seems to think that Theory might be Vince McMahon's illegitimate son.
Well, you could have multiple ones. You never know. You might have, not just Hornswoggle, but
not just Hornswoggle. No, how'd that work out?
Yeah. Where was I going to go with this? I have no idea. I lost my train of thought. No, but it's like, obviously the changes, and he's working little by little. You can't. I mean, you can change everything overnight, but it's a process. So I mean, we look now, and we look a year from now, WWE is going to be entire. It's going to be total night and day.
It needs to be, because the night was pretty dark.
No, it was, but it was fine, because WWE, they had their run for a long time. They needed a little bit of a refresher course. It happens with all these companies.
Yeah.
Eventually, something needs to change a little bit. That's why they're saying back in some of the indies, back in the old days, territories, they get a new booker like every year or two, because you gotta bring somebody new with fresh ideas in it. Otherwise, it's just kind of the same old same. Where you get somebody in, new ideas, you can get burned out. Vince, obviously,
Yeah, and I think it helps having certain people around you too. Vince had these people who were stuck in the 80s and 90s, whereas Triple H has now brought back his old writers from NXT to help on the main roster. And I think that's going to make things a lot more interesting.
Good. I mean, they need new blood. That's all there is to it, and they're getting it. I mean, is Triple H new blood? Technically, no, but yeah, he is. It's somebody that's not Vince McMahon. It's somebody that's not Johnny Ace and not a Patterson, or any of the guys who have for decades just kissed ass and yesed Vince to death.
That's why I'm surprised Bruce Pritchard's still there.
Yeah.
Give it time.
But I think he knows how to play the game, so to speak. So I think
no pun intended.
Knows how to, yeah.
Time to play the game.
It's like, all right, well, if I want to keep my job, I better just adapt to these new rules, or I'm not gonna have a job. So.
Yeah, but I still don't think that's going to save him. I think come the beginning of the year, he's going to be done. I think they just want to get through this end of the year without letting him go, and then when they start the new year, can say, all right, we're starting fresh. Bruce, you're out, and I'm running with my team.
Time will tell.
Time will certainly will tell.
A lot of people talking about this Theory Riddle thing, not Theory Riddle, but the
people getting their names back.
Riddle Seth. Well, no, just that. I guess I got to go watch that stupid interview somewhere now. Theory and Riddle got their first names back. Hopefully, they'll get Dijak and Pete Dunne. Yeah, that's what we were talking about too, man. Definitely Pete Dunne. Good Lord, save him from that hell of Butch.
I mean, I like the three of them together, but yeah, they didn't need to change him from what he was to put him with Sheamus. They didn't.
No. He was absolutely fine doing what he was doing as the bruiserweight. He had titles in the NXT. He could have easily been maybe not the world champion, although, hey, Rey Mysterio's a world champion. Benoit was a world champion. Eddie Guerrero was a world champion. So you can be a world champion and not be 6'8" and 275 pounds.
Right.
And God, if you were going to make anyone fit that bill, it would be Pete Dunne, because he's a legit stretch man. I mean, he will put you and lock you and bend you into ways that a human being's going to say, fuck it, I've had enough.
True. Not the best talker though on the mic, but he's not.
I haven't heard him on a mic, I'll be honest with you.
It's very sparingly. He's not the shit, pardon my language, but he's not. You know, maybe he will. Maybe there's a side of him we haven't even seen yet. And if he's an amazing talker too, oh God, yeah, that guy could be easily a world champion. It's weird to say
He's
that.
one of those guys, though, that he can let his in-ring work talk for him. He doesn't have to see much.
Which is why he's good with Sheamus. Sheamus can do the talking, and he can go and kick somebody's ass. And
yeah,
there we have it.
Speaking of guys who can't speak much, or maybe let me rephrase: guys who shouldn't speak much, and yet seem to somehow be over. Maybe Hook. Am I the only one that just looks at that and goes, "What?"
The Hook phenomenon.
Is there a phenomenon?
Called, well, I'm just saying, it's something, and for AEW, it obviously is. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I heard him talk backstage, and I'm like, oh, good Lord. The microphone says kryptonite. It is bad.
Yeah, I can honestly say I don't really pay too much attention when he's on the mic either, so.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to make him up to be a riddle, you know, where it's like, bro, but they're not even doing that with him. He's just... I never got into the Hook. I'm not a hooker, as they call his fans, I guess. I'm not a hooker.
That means everything I read about you online is a lie.
Probably, yes. Well, it depends who you heard it from. But anyways, yeah, I don't see the Hook thing. I'm with you, brother. Nope. But he's already a champion.
Yeah, well, not really. Bought and paid for by his dad, champion, whatever.
Well, yeah, true.
Primetime says Ricochet needs to go to promo class. Never heard Ricochet on a microphone.
Yeah, he was on NXT last night, and he challenged Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship at the Worlds Collide.
Nice.
Okay.
Was it a great promo? No, but it was a lot better than some people I've heard on the mic. And I think with Ricochet, he hasn't been given a lot of mic time, so give him the mic a lot more, and he might be able to bring it up a little bit.
There might be a reason for that, though.
Yeah.
Maybe they've seen him backstage working on promos and said you didn't. What was Dusty's favorite quote? My favorite Dusty quote is, I guess what I should say: "Don't do shit you don't know."
Well, then, yes.
Don't do shit you don't know.
Well, maybe that's why they let him do it on NXT just to see, you know.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching this shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, nobody's watching, so it's like a house show. Go ahead.
All right.
Say what you want. It's like a house show. Do whatever you want. No big deal, but...
There's a Bull over here in our chat is saying that they seem to be booking Hook similar to what Paul did with Taz and ECW. Here's the difference. Taz was a small guy, but he was thick.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he had no neck, and he had these stocky thighs, and, you know, you could see there was some power. He had this Ivan Putski thing going on, right?
Yeah.
Hook has my newspaper boy thing going on. He does.
Yeah.
I want to like tousle his hair and give him $10.
I mean, he has gained a little bit of size, but that's not saying much because I don't think there was much. I mean,
Yeah, now he's up to 100 pounds.
well, yeah. As somebody I know once said, wrestlers should look like wrestlers. He doesn't look like a wrestler. It's kind of like you say, he looks like somebody like stocking your groceries at your local Walmart or something.
Right.
Not Shane
Clean
Douglas.
up on aisle 4.
Not Shane Douglas, because I think Shane Douglas works at Walmart now, right?
No.
Seriously.
Really? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
He was like
an educator. He was a teacher. He had a degree as an educator. That's why they came up with the Dean Douglas gimmick.
I couldn't imagine going into Walmart and seeing Shane Douglas. Would you like paper or plastic? But
I can't imagine Shane Douglas being an educator in today's society.
Cut the damn music. You're right. Well, I tell you.
Big JH, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, Hook is. It's not an acquired taste for me. I'll say that much. He's just. If he wasn't Taz's son, yeah, he'd still get a push.
No, if he wasn't Taz's son, he wouldn't be on AEW. He wouldn't be on national TV. I mean, and I'm not trying to pick on the kid. I'm not. But when you're playing to an audience of wrestling fans, okay, a big part of them are 40 and over.
Yeah.
That's a fact. You know why? Go ahead. Why? Because we have the money. 20-year-olds can't afford a $90 ticket. Cheap seats were $75.
Yeah.
You ain't getting that at Burger King. So it's reliant on the fathers and the grandfathers to buy the tickets.
Yeah, wrestling shirts aren't cheap anymore. WWE shirts are at least $30.
Right.
Oh, forget merch. I'm just talking about seats.
Oh no, but you take your kid to a show, he's gonna want a program, or he's gonna maybe not program, but a T-shirt or a belt or something. Who's paying for that? Like that stuff is not cheap.
No, and if you're smart, what you do is you set up a distraction and then hop over the counter real quick and grab it and go. Laugh, it works, okay?
No, he did work at Target, but he also worked at Walmart, Big J. I'm telling you.
I'm surprised, though, to hear any of that because, again, the guy's got an education. I mean, I would think he'd be in an office somewhere or... Unless, well, you know what? Did he ever have any legal issues throughout his wrestling touring career that might prohibit him from being around small children? Or maybe they just got a hold of some old video of his matches.
Okay, Big J, but I'm telling you, I've heard Walmart too. Just saying.
Well, I didn't hear neither one until today, and I'm just sitting here going, what?
I know for sure Target, though. I've heard many people say that, and it's not just internet people. I'm talking about in the wrestling business say that. So he's.
Isn't it funny though that we look at Target as well? It's Target. It's not Walmart. Like Target is that much better than Walmart.
No, it's not.
They're pretty damn even. If it is better than Walmart, it is by the smallest amount, not by price either. By the way, maybe by clientele and cleanliness of stores. Although the Walmart by me is pretty clean ever since COVID. They did a good job of cleaning that place up, and so far they've managed to maintain that.
Yeah, sorry, Big J. Regardless, he worked at least retail. We'll just put it that way. He's been a retail clerk. we'll just leave it at that. I for sure, maybe Walmart, but oh jeez.
Oh, we're just playing. It's all good. Matt Stryker was a teacher. Yeah, well, no, Stryker definitely was an educator too. But Shane Douglas, I'm 90% sure he was a teacher at one point in time. Was he not before wrestling? Oh hell!
I don't know that. Big J.
We got
there you
Google
go.
right here. We got Google right here, man.
Hey, Big J. I don't know everything, but you and I both knew that Chris Adams was never a member of the Four Horsemen.
Oh, good times.
I don't know everything.
Wrestler. Let's just see what Wikipedia knows everything.
Beef
Troy
behind the
Allen
One
Martin.
Nation Network studios. There we go.
We got some thunder going on out here. Some thunder and plunder, baby. All right, here we go. Shane Douglas, Troy Allen Martin, American professional wrestler, promoter. Shane Douglas, 10 years in Extreme, yada yada. Martin held a dozen championships. First 11 men for Mick Foley, blah, 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 blah. Early life. Professional wrestling career. Let's get past the wrestling and talk about whatever else he's done here.
Yeah, I'll be curious if it actually covers that in the Wikipedia.
Promoting. Yeah, that's right. He did some promoting too there.
Oh, with that Extreme Rising or whatever.
Extreme Pro Wrestling is what it calls it here. All right, personal life. In 93, due to his first stint with World Championship of Wrestling, he began teaching, emotional support classes. Oh! Teaching emotional support classes. Shane, baby, they are calling you today. It is 2022, and they are calling you loud. You should be getting paid top dollar.
Right.
Emotional support. My goodness, he should be raking the money in. But I knew he had some sort of an education in education. So what the hell? Unless he's a manager at one of those franchises there. Target shows respect for others. Well, I do have a good friend of mine who was with me at Disney and then relocated out of state, and then she got a job managing at a Target. Not a store manager, but she is a manager, and she's got nothing but positive things to say. And I definitely respect her opinion. And she's been with them for about 8 or 9 years now, and I know she would have moved on if it wasn't.
You're going to make me load up the Ric Flair shoot interview where he talked about Shane Douglas.
Troy Martin was a teacher, not Shane Douglas. Well, okay, if you want to be technical, but it's kind of the same person.
All right, the mighty Big J in the house. It's all
He
good.
said in the shoot interview he was in elementary school. Yeah, I remember hearing something about small kids, that he was a teacher. And it wasn't high school. I knew it wasn't high school. I didn't know if it was elementary or middle school, but I knew that I had heard him talk about it. And maybe it was a shoot interview, but I thought it was even something else.
Does it cover his retail experience in the Wikipedia? Or did you not get that far?
No, it doesn't seem like it. Well, let me go a little further, actually. Hold on. I guess I stopped when I was right.
No, fair enough.
Began teaching supports economics and the history of the United States at the high school. Oh, and that was at high school level. While not wrestling, Martin works as a motivational speaker. Married Michelle Burke on August of 87. They divorced November of 87. No, November of 94.
That's
5
when you
years.
started the emotional support group?
Could be. Martin married Carla Marie Reeves on August of 99. Their first son, Connor, was born in 2001, which means he should be entering the ring any day now.
Little franchise, huh? Okay.
I love Shane Douglas. I was a big Shane Douglas mark. I totally just thought he was the quality wrestler for the time, man. He was a worthy world champion. He was perfect for ECW. Hated the Dean Douglas bullshit. Caden Andrew was born, but soon after his second son was born, Martin checked himself into a drug rehab program due to a painkiller addiction. Since 2006, Martin has remained drug-free. Good for you. Discussed this on Steve Austin's podcast. He did Steve Austin's podcast. No kidding. During a 2-part episode, Martin and his wife divorced in 2017. Boy, you can't keep a marriage, though. Martin produced, choreographed. There you go. Produced, choreographed, and played himself in the 2013 film Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies. I'm sorry. Where is this movie in my life?
It's on
what? Tubi?
It might possibly be on Tubi too. I watched the first couple of minutes and I was like, what the?
Oh, dude, I'm like the biggest Walking Dead nut, and I'm a pro wrestling fan. I don't care how bad it is. I'm watching it.
All right, we need to find it, then we'll review it on here.
Pro wrestlers versus zombies. Yeah, somebody do the background check on that real quick. What else we got here? In July, Martin was named part of a class action lawsuit filed against WWE. Oh, yes. Forgot about that, which alleged that the wrestlers incurred traumatic brain injuries during their tenure and that the company concealed the risks of the injuries. The suit was litigated by attorney Konstantin Kairos. Boy, with that name, you had to be a lawyer.
Yeah, no kid. Or a wrestler. Constantine.
Yeah, that would be a great wrestling name, wouldn't it? Almost would have a chance if that was his name. Even if it was just Kairos.
Yeah.
And it still rhymes with almost. So if he doesn't make it, well, he almost made it. The lawsuit was dismissed by the U.S. District Judge Vanessa Bryant in September of 2018, and that is the last name. Do not mention his career in retail. Somehow that hasn't made it there. So what do we want here? Is pro wrestlers versus zombies? What the hell was that shit? Hold on.
Yep.
Pro wrestlers versus zombies. Bam. Here we go.
Well, regardless, he had some retail experience.
2013 sports action horror film that was directed by Cody Knotts. I wonder if he's related to Don Knotts. An early version of the film was shown at an goddamn thing's popping up in front at an international horror festival in England in 2013. The movie was released on DVD, straight to DVD. There you go. On March of 2014, along with limited theatrical release. And by limited, I'm thinking we're saying one theater for a weekend. The movie was funded partly through a successful Kickstarter campaign and through private funds and yada, yada, yada. Well, investors and stars, former WWE and current TNA wrestlers that portrayed themselves fighting against a horde of zombies. I am so gonna find this bitch. The synopsis is like 4 paragraphs long. How can that be possible for that title? 4 sentences is a little over the top. Oh, let's take a look at the cast. All playing themselves for the most part. Rowdy Roddy Piper, Shane Douglas, Kurt Angle, Matt Hardy, Jim Duggan, Taya Parka. Is that Taya Valkyrie? Rebby Sky, Adrienne Fisher as Sarah. I don't know who Adrienne Fisher is. Richard John Walters as Tezcatlipoca, whatever the hell that is. Shannon M. Hart as Serena. I'm not sure if Shannon M. Hart is related to the Harts. Ashton Amherst as Angus. We got Camera Bartolotta. Cody Michaels as Troy. Sylvester Turkey as himself. I don't know Sylvester. And then Cody Knotts as himself, which is also the director of the film.
Sylvester had a short run in WWE and like
Jobber?
it was right around, I think, towards the end of the ECW when it was folding. The second time around when WWE brought it back.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Wasn't he Sylvester Durkay? Wasn't he like started off as like a bodyguard or something for Elijah Burke and then became a wrestler? Or
Yes,
like that?
That's exactly what that was. Yep. And then he split off from Elijah.
Yeah.
Right,
he wasn't
boys.
there very long though. Maybe a year, maybe.
Y'all need to make sure your seatbelts are on for this one. Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies is on Peacock.
Yes,
Oh, I'm watching it tonight.
All right, y'all have homework.
Nope.
I'm sorry if that sounded like a request. It wasn't. Kurt Angle's in it. Yeah, Kurt's he was on the list.
Well, wait till I take my medicine later. So at least I'll watch it, and then at least I can maybe try to enjoy it. But yeah.
Well, I didn't say you were... No. None of us is going to enjoy it. This isn't about having any fun or enjoyment. This is just about we saw this movie. and I'm sure
So,
the word he's probably
Now that they mentioned Kurt Angle, I kind of remember him mentioning it in a podcast somewhere about being in it. And I'm going, and he said it was one of the worst experiences of his life.
Wrestling
Well.
purist. What is this? Hold on a minute. Want to see a video that explains itself on what I'm talking about when it comes to Walmart today? I'll send a link of an employee quitting by shooting at the manager or on the manager or shooting the manager. Probably don't need to see the video. It doesn't surprise me that it would happen.
Well, let's be honest. If you look Walmart, or not Walmart, if you look on YouTube, you're gonna find some jabroni. I've seen a lot of people talk bad about working for GameStop and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
We all could do a shoot on a previous job we had. One way or
This is neat.
another. Well, see, there you go. So we could all talk about somebody or something. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
But when you hear the GameStop stuff though, and it's not just this one, there's one guy who's like got an Uber following on YouTube, and that's what launched his whole thing was GameStop, and that's still 90% of his stuff. But he's doing a few other things. I haven't seen him in a while, only because we're talking about it. It's just tripped my mind. But yeah, he was to the point where they were including his videos in their team talks about, hey, this guy's getting this information. I know some of you son of bitches are leaking it, and what they would put on their management staff and their counter staff and the quotas they had to meet and what they did to them during COVID and the conditions they made them work in, the pay they didn't give them.
Was he part of the group that walked, like the whole management staff walked out of their store, locked the door, and
I doubt it. He left, and I don't know that he even made management level, to be honest with you, but he left a long time before people started to hear the stories. I think it was a little bit more hush hush. I used to go to the one down here by me, and there was one girl that worked behind the counter, and she just had the right personality for that job. Okay. She was kind of cute in her own little way. She had tattoos more than I would like on a girl, but I'm just saying she was just like, you walked in and it was like, hey, what's up, Buttercup? Yeah. Never saw her before in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that was the type of personality she had. And she was knowledgeable about the products and all that. And there were days where I'd go back just because I enjoyed the brief conversations with her. And then all of a sudden she wasn't there. And then a few weeks later, I'm finding this guy's videos and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, she probably said, fuck you and out. Because they were just really, it was not, it sounded like a fun place to work. You would think it, like he said, it sounds like it would be because we get these games in advance and we get to try them out, take them home, not pay for them and all that kind of stuff. He says, but man, let me tell you what.
I know the one by me that I used to go to all the time. The sales staff rotated more than I do my socks. So.
Yep.
Rotate more and you change your socks. I wonder how they take that.
I was going to say, hopefully that's a big number. I know people, it's an annual event like Christmas.
Not sure how to think that one there, Jay.
Daily. It was like every time I went in, they had a brand new staff, and I'm just like,
well, good cover
I didn't
up,
understand
Jay. Good cover up.
There you go. What are the wrestling movies? Let's see. We're going to have to do one of these shows on just wrestling movies. So Body Slam has always been my go-to wrestling movie. There's The Wrestler, of course, if you want a really good movie.
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred. What was the WCW fiasco? Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the one from the 70s with the girl tag team?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You got me on that one. The Mighty G Train does not know that one. Sorry.
Can't we all just get along? Hold on.
Oh no, I'm fine. I have no problems with Big J. I was just giving him the business. It's all good.
Business. Let's see. Popular wrestling movies. Oh, Fighting with My Family. That was actually decent.
It was actually. I kind of like that.
I never heard of the Peanut Butter Falcon. Never heard of that. By the way, how do we forget about Nacho Libre?
Oh, yeah.
Big J's my
Check him.
Grand Theft Auto playing online buddy. So big shout out to Big J. All right, anyways.
Let's see here.
Wrestling movies.
There's a movie called Warrior I never heard of. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Oofa.
Well, there's The Wrestler.
Yeah, we talked about that a second ago. That's with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not pro wrestling, but it's wrestling. Shit. Vision Quest. Vision Quest.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
What's wrestling?
There's something called The Hammer. Never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
What else we got over here? Legendary. I don't know. Glow, which is it wasn't really a movie. It was a show.
Am I wrong? But wasn't didn't they make a movie The Wrestler like in the old days too? And this was like kind of a remake, kind of like.
It's
I thought I saw
possible.
somewhere.
I don't know that they would have made it a long time ago because they were still kayfabing it back then. The only way you make a movie like that is to, basically blow the curtain off.
Right.
Didn't Vern Gagne make a movie too?
Possible. I don't know it.
Because I thought I saw on the AWA DVD when they had to release the WWE did. I thought he did one or something about building up to a match, something with him and Billy Robinson, but I can't remember the name of the movie. I don't know if that ever came to fruition or not, but
The Masked Saint. Never heard of it, but it definitely is a wrestling movie I'm looking at here. Oh, and there is
All
another
the
one called The
Marvels?
Wrestler. It says The Wrestler, a QT Marshall story. Oh, a QT Marshall story. Too many initials in a movie.
not a cutie story, yeah.
QT.
Not a cutie.
Well, he is a little cute when he shaves closely. Let's see. Beyond the Mat. Oh yeah. Well, I guess it's a wrestling movie. It's a documentary, but okay. Oh damn, we forgot the obvious.
Huh.
Scooby-Doo, the WWE mystery.
Yeah, I bought that for my boys when they first came out. So
I think I had stolen that on Pirate Bay and watched it once and then deleted it, saying I'll never watch that again. Never Back Down 2, never even heard of it.
Okay, so Vern Gagne was in the original, so there was a wrestler before that. Okay, thanks, Big J. See?
There's a movie called Hot Rod, but I don't think it has anything to do with Rowdy Roddy Piper from the look of it. Monster Brawl.
No.
Oh, there's another one that I'm just now thinking of. Grunt, the wrestling movie. Have you seen this? It's an 80s thing. Has a lot of Miss Linda and what's his name? Adrian Street.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of featured in that a bit. That was a good one. They've listed Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey. Yeah, it's a stretch. It's not really a wrestling movie. Grudge Match.
If they go that route, then let's just throw in the first Spider-Man since we have Macho Man in the cage with him with Tobey Maguire.
It's actually in the list. I skipped over it because it's not a wrestling movie.
Oh, okay.
But it made the list, to your point. And I was like, no, bullshit. That's not a wrestling movie.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it this way. It might be
By no means a wrestling movie.
The most complete list of wrestling movies on IDBM. Foxcatcher. Never heard of it. Beyond the Mat, we talked about Win-Win. Don't know of that one. Legendary with John Cena. That was an okay movie. It's amateur wrestling, though.
Yeah, it was.
The Wrestler we've talked about. What is this? Veritas. Never heard of that one. But it looks like it's a wrestling movie. Nacho Libre.
There was a movie. What was it called? Main Event, I think it was. It was more like a kid's movie. There's a kid.
Oh, the kid ends up with like superpowers or some crap.
Yeah, he was like a wrestler. So it wasn't the Miz in it, and
yeah, I forget who was in. I do, and it wasn't bad. I watched it. I can't remember anything about it, but I remember thinking, hey, better than I expected. And it's not on the list yet. Anyway, let's see. We're at number 10 here with Reversal. Never heard of that. Got a solid star. Oh wait, no, 6 stars. I beg your pardon. Ready to Rumble got a 5.3, so that'll be our measuring stick. I'm presuming this is out of 10. It's got a 23 Metacritic.
Big J
Beyond
says for you to check your Twitter. Here's something.
My Twitter?
It would be your Twitter.
Let's see.
Yeah, and who's rating these movies? Is this
All the Marbles. That was the tag team chicks with Peter
Oh,
Falk.
okay, yeah, I remember that one now. Yeah.
That's it. And it still isn't on this list yet, surprisingly. Mr. Nanny. It's not a wrestling movie. It's just got a wrestler in it.
Oh,
How in the
gee.
world do they have Born on the 4th of July in this list?
What?
It's on the list.
Rob Zombie's El Super Bistro. He plays it's animated, but his character's a luchador in it.
Okay.
This
Got no
list is
holds
losing some
barred.
credibility with me.
Mission Quest.
Born on the 4th of July? The hell?
I have no idea. Now it's been a minute since I've seen that movie, but I do not recall a single pro wrestling scene in it.
No.
Maybe there was.
I mean, yeah, maybe he was watching it in the background or something like that.
Yeah, who knows?
But that's not really a wrestling movie, but okay.
No.
Okay.
And then the one I picked earlier, Vision Quest, made the number 17 mark. Is that it? Can we get more? Is that it? 17? IDBM, man. I thought you'd have more than that.
Yeah.
The 9 best wrestling movies to watch before WrestleMania. Okay, let's see what this list looks like. So obviously The Wrestler, Ready to Rumble, Nacho Libre, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake. Okay. I would actually say if you're going to watch something before WrestleMania, especially if you're not a versed wrestling fan, I would go with The Resurrection story.
Yeah.
So you understand how real it is. The Peanut Butter Falcon again popping up. What the hell is this? Shia LaBeouf and Dakota Johnson, which are recognizable names, starring this critically acclaimed, heartwarming adventure about a man with Down syndrome who escapes from an assisted living facility so he can chase his dream to train and become a professional wrestler. Along the way, he meets a fisherman played by LaBeouf. Rather than make fun of him, LaBeouf encourages him to get in shape, turns his buddy road trip movie into sounds good. And that was out in 2019.
Never heard of that one in my entire life, but I might
The
check it out.
Peanut Butter Falcon. All right, now a new question. Where do we get to see this? Hold on. Copy. Netflix, which I don't have.
Peanut Butter Falcon, you said?
Yeah. Or I can rent it for $3 on Amazon. It's got 4.5 stars, 33,000 viewers rating it.
Well, I found the trailer. Yeah, it's on YouTube. You could rent it on YouTube too. Buy or rent. I don't know what the price. Let's see.
Buying it on Amazon is $7.
Yeah, it's $15 to buy here, and it's $4 to rent. So yeah, go to.
Wow, they're normally all the same price. It's not often you'll see a difference in price. They usually regulate that shit so that no one has an advantage. It pays to shop around, folks. I'm working on 4.5 hours sleep. I slept like shit last night.
Well, I'm gonna watch the trailer here while we talk. No sound because I don't want to get you copyrighted. But
there you go. Fighting with my family. Andre the Giant. That wasn't really a movie. Wrestling with Shadows. That's another good one for him to watch. Beyond the Mat.
whoa. Okay.
All right, so I got the zombie thing I got to watch and the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Is that a little bit of Barry Windham I see on the TV screen? Not in the movie. Oh my goodness. What is this kid doing?
All the marbles. Oh, where can I see that? That's got to be on something free.
Kid just running around in his underwear. Okay. The old school underwear too, not the cool versions we had today. I'm talking about the old school. Fruit of the Loom,
Yeah.
brother.
All the marbles. That costs you $10 to buy it on Amazon.
Ooh.
All the marbles. That's the one from what year? 1981. California dolls are hot, young, and dirty. But although the gorgeous tag team wrestlers may be wallowing in down market mud wrestling bout right now, they have a dream. And I believe it's based on a true story. Whose true story? I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure that was actually somebody that we know. And I don't think they used that name even in the film. I don't know whoever the actual inspiration behind the story might have been. Stars Peter Falk, Vicky Frederick, and Lauren Landon.
Well, the trailer doesn't do necessarily anything for me wrestling wise.
The peanut butter movie, not so hot looking. It got great reviews though, man. 33,000 plus people reviewed it.
Well,
And that's
according
not
to
one of those
somebody-
blockbusters that people are going to stack the deck on to try and get their money back, you know?
Yeah, no. I mean, it did say in the title that somebody said it's the sweetest movie ever made or something like that. So, I don't know. I saw very little wrestling, but I mean, they're not going to show the whole thing, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
that 5-second clip of him watching TV of wrestling. I hope they don't consider that a wrestling movie, but we'll see, I guess. I have another place I can check it out. It's all good, brother. Peanut Butter Falcon. It'll make you cry.
I'm wondering.
Hey guys, do you know what John Moxley's night name is?
Yeah, I just saw that. That's a bad one.
If he's bleeding during a promo, then there's something wrong.
Oh, Flair did that every damn day, man. Smack himself in the head.
Oh yeah. Okay, Big J, I saw that message. Okay, that looks weird how you said that, but I know what you mean. Because you're talking about Grand Theft Auto. He just said, "Oh, I need you later to move some product." Yeah. Okay. Peanut Butter Falcon.
I'm trying to see
2019.
if anybody had uploaded the video, even in segments. Sometimes they'll put it up in chunks, but doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I've only the trailer's all I've seen so far, and it's
Let me see. What was that other one?
I only
Hold on.
popped because the kid was running around in the old Fruit of the Looms. So I haven't seen those underwear in a long time. See,
So
you watch.
All the marbles
Go ahead.
is on YouTube. You have to get the playlist. Wait, hold on.
You never know what we're going to talk
Over.
about on What's News.
And the playlist is out of order too, so that's a little bit of an annoyance. You'd actually have to go around clip to clip. Let me see something though.
Interesting.
I made the mistake of watching some movie this way on a playlist. Got all the way down to the last scene, and it was blocked for copyright. It was like the last. Yes, son of a bitch.
You're like 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. Oh, but you don't get to see the ending. Like,
No, and you pretty much know how it ends, but
yeah.
and this is also
No,
not a very good quality that this guy's posted either.
No spoilers in the chat about AEW, please. I will watch that later.
What time is it? Oh shit, it's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. But, so yeah, we got Countdown to the Castle or whatever it's called on Saturday. And then we got the AEW blowout on
Yeah,
Sunday.
they're definitely gonna blow it out. And there's no doubt in my mind of that.
Well, there's a lot of matches on the card as usual too, so It's going to be another 4-hour plus.
How many good matches are on the card? That should be a much smaller list. What's the main event? I still haven't heard the answer. Moxley versus who?
Well, it's going to be Moxley versus Punk, but I don't know.
Oh, God, no. How?
I don't want...
You
Okay,
just
who's
watched
talking?
them.
Oh, Wrestling Purist, you can, if they announce something, spoil that. It's because it's probably not much of a spoiler. I mean, are they going to do a cage match or something? Are they going to add something different? But yeah, otherwise the card is
trash.
A lot of 6-man tags.
Oh, we must be talking about All Out.
I refer to it as Get Out.
Like even Jericho and Bryan Danielson, like I'm sure it'll be a decent match, but I'm not really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
I have bought some AEW pay-per-views in the past, and they were good, like when Punk made his in-ring return. But I had the vibe that it was going to be a good pay-per-view, and it didn't disappoint. That was that the pay-per-view where Bryan Danielson came back and
Adam Cole at the end?
Adam Cole. Well, actually, it was the other way around, but yeah. So that was a freaking pay-per-view. That was a great, worth the money.
Yes, it was. I ordered that one too.
I get the exact same vibe on this one in reverse. Stay away. Yeah. Run away.
Yeah, I just can't pull the trigger on this one.
No.
I'm still going to check it out somehow, but yeah, I'm not as excited for this as...
Prime time, I'm going to watch WWE because I have the Peacock. So I'll watch that.
No, somebody tells me, MJF's going to be there? Yes.
That would be a kick in the teeth, wouldn't it? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, you run the little angle for a week or two. It's been, what, 3 months? More?
Yeah, and he was hot as topic. Yeah, I agree.
He had the best rating segments every week.
Yeah, how can you take that guy away? I mean, again, like I said, like you said, it makes sense for a couple weeks, build some kind of a storyline, but now it's just like, I mean, we'll be excited to see him, though.
At the very most, you take him away for a month, but not 3.
Yeah, it's insane. Tom Watts says he thinks that they're getting a streaming service. There was a day, Tom, about 2 or 3 months ago. I wanted that to happen. I was all in, man. I was going to get it. And I still might, only for the ROH content.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do they own any other libraries at all, even some rinky-dink or...
Didn't they get some Japanese promotion, too?
That's what I'm thinking of. I do recall hearing something to
It wasn't New Japan or anything like that, but it wasn't like...
Old Japan, I think it was.
Whoa.
Tony likes the old things.
No, I can't remember. Well, I don't think it was DDT or anything like that, but it was some other... I thought it was some Japanese promotion, but yeah.
I would trust you on that more than me.
And even me, I'm like, yeah. But ROH content, yeah, they had some great wrestling for a long time. If they have all that footage, sign me up.
That's what it would take for me.
That's something else I have to say for Monday night was the interaction between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They referred a lot back to ROH. I was kind of surprised they allowed him to reference it.
Well, again, Triple H, he's a wrestling guy. He understands that there's history outside of the WWE. He understands that the fans know about it.
Yep.
I mean,
cover it.
Yeah, I can still remember that the ladders match that they both did there, and they about killed each other during it. Loved it.
Or the tag match they had with like the Briscoes and stuff.
Oh, yes.
God.
In a nutshell, Triple H is not insulting the fans' intelligence. I mean, if you want to wrap up the last few weeks. Wrestling Purist is anything but Spectrum? What's the reference? I don't get it.
Oh, probably for a streaming service, I think. Is probably
Oh, okay. Now I'm with you.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but what is the card for All Out? Well, I mean, I do know some of the matches, but it's I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. On all these other pay-per-views we're talking about, we knew the card.
Right.
Well, they've thrown a lot of matches together. Like, I know it's Jade Cargill versus the Thing now. Okay. Not a match I need to see, but whatever. They got that 4-way women's championship match.
Right.
They have the finals of the Trios tournament, which it looks like it's going to be the Elite versus the Dark Order, with a Hangman Page replacement for one of the Dark Order.
And I'll be honest, I don't even know most of the card for the WWE tomorrow.
No,
by the way, totally changing topics real quick here. Joe Doring, did you all hear?
Yeah.
So, and I didn't realize this about him, but he had dealt with a brain tumor a while back, cancer. And they told him he's never going to wrestle again. He proved him wrong. And apparently he is now officially stepping down from pro wrestling because it's come back again and he's got to deal with it again.
Yep.
And that's just man. I thought this guy, when I got to see him in person a few months back, massive human being. Massive human being. So TV does not do him justice. And I just broke my heart to hear that. As I hope he does it again and kicks out again, but
right.
That's a tough one to come back from once, much less twice. I mean, I'd come back into the ring, which is the least thing. I mean, you obviously just want to make sure he's okay at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Purist talking about Jim Cornette said enough about that blanking piece of blank that won't blanking work. I'm presuming he's talking about Moxley. To say that Moxley is not going, or that Cornette is not going to head up Moxley's fan club anytime soon would be an understatement.
Sure.
And he makes valid points too. I was just listening to a clip. It took forever I've been waiting for his review of the title unification match, and I finally heard it this morning while I was getting ready for work. And I thought he let them off easy. I mean, he bashed them, don't get me wrong, and mentioned 5 Ways to Sunday how badly they screwed the pooch on this. But that all said, I really thought he was going to go even worse than he did. But it's like, then this son bitch with those stupid elbows that never look like they're doing shit. And then he really must have, because he hurt him. He's busting him open. That's another reason I can't stand the fuck. Just going off on it. And Brian Last was in there too. I mean, they were just tearing Moxley's work apart. He's garbage. He's trash. They just, man, they were deep into disdain over the reigning AEW champion. I never cared for him one way or another. I thought he was okay with the Shield. I tell you, the only time I liked him and thought he was really doing some pretty incredible stuff was in FCW during his feud with Regal.
Yeah.
They had some great promos. You want to talk about, pulling the curtain back or getting a legit shoot feel to it. He, Moxley kind of like, I don't want to say broke character. I think he went into character and started, I forget, it was one of the last FCW episodes ever before they switched over to NXT. And he and Regal were battling it out with words backstage, and there was something about Moxley's sister that Moxley brought up. And he did it with this sound in his voice, this emotion, and I was like, I don't know where this thing just went, but it got serious there for a second, and it felt legit, and that last match that those two guys had was legit. I'm surprised that Regal went over. I didn't see the logic in that because he was pretty much done. But at that moment, I thought, you know what? This is the guy that you need to be doing stuff with. This is the guy that. And then they didn't. They didn't let him have that same edge anymore.
No. And I think that's kind of what he's tried to do down in AEW, but it's just not played the same.
No, it has not. It's neat. Again, you got a kid running the store. I'm still over here putting my universe mode together here in PS5, which sucks because it's like I got to rebuild all the tag teams. Right now, I'm just literally putting teams together. I'm not working on entrances or any of that shit. I'll do that another day. It's just too much work. A good cornet, Vince. Thanks. It's not my best, and I'm tired as hell, but I give it the old college try. Speaking of funny things I've heard lately, for all of you out there who made it your life's goal to get through life without having to pay college education debt back, congratulations. Now you do.
So they didn't pass it.
No, they did. Well, yeah, they did. So, like, I never went to college. It wasn't something I had any inclination to do. But now I get to pay a college loan off. It's just not mine.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, lordy lord. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap for right now because I am so tired from yesterday. I got to get to bed early. Tomorrow is the first of two really cool upcoming Inside the Creator Studio shows. So hopefully you guys will all be here to join us for that. We're going tomorrow's Thursday?
Yep.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. John Crowther will be with us. He is the author, the man behind the comic books, the Squared Circle comics. And he is working on a 365-page book that we're going to find out more information on regarding the Bushwhackers. And I have it on good authority that one or both of the Bushwhackers will be joining us as well. So super excited about that. And then on Saturday, if you have never met or seen the Macho Man, he is like the top Macho Man Randy Savage impersonator. He has done so many different spoof videos on YouTube. I was trying to find a couple of the ones that I most enjoyed, but now I can only find 4. But they're all funny as hell, and he's going through a rebranding period right now. We're going to get all that information from him tomorrow, and Saturday is going to be his, and that'll be 6 o'clock. So the plan is this: 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, we've got the Castle Clash going down. I'll be watching that. As soon as that's over, I'll jump on here. We can talk a little of what we thought about whatever took place. And I'm thinking that'll be about 30. Do we know, is it a 3-hour or a 4-hour show? Do we know?
I'm betting it's going to be close to 3.
Well, it'll definitely be 3. I just don't know because England hasn't had one in so long if they're making it a WrestleMania type event.
Unless they add a couple more matches, I can't see it going past the 3-hour mark.
All right, well, 3 would be better because that gives me more time, and I can get even better ready for it. But anyway, as soon as it's over, jump back on over here. We're going to discuss whatever it is that happened, and then I'll probably take a short break, and then we will be coming back with Macho Man. And again, what I love about doing it live is it'll give you guys a chance to put some of your questions up. I know I'll have some of my own, but there'll be things I don't think of, and that's where you guys come in, and then we can go off on that. The whole concept was always based on Inside the Actors Studio with James Lipton
Right.
back in the day. Always liked that, and I always thought it would be fun to do something like that with the world that we're more used to here, whether that be wrestling or gaming and stuff like that. So I've been enjoying the opportunity to find different people that contribute to that same vein of entertainment. And John's going to be a good guy. I talked to him for a good half hour a couple weeks ago when I met him. Easy conversation, real easy conversation. And I know I won't have to work very hard. So that's another. And if he's got the bushwhackers on, I'm just going to kind of sit back and chill. I might break open a beer or something. I don't know. So all that and more coming your way. And then, of course, we'll get back into some more PWI stuff here next week. I think we'll start touching on that.
Nice.
So, all right, everyone. Well, thank you again for being here and being part of it. Thank you guys so much. Jay, thank you for being here. D-Train, I know you had to take off, but thank you for being here. And everybody else, thank you for being here. From ringside, signing off. We'll see you again real soon. Be good.